You know, origami hearts are not just for Valentine's Day. Hi and welcome to Origami Expressions, the channel where we learn to express ourselves in paper. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. If you're a long-term subscriber, welcome back, or even a short-term subscriber for that matter. Today's model is one that's been requested, a traditional origami heart. It's quick, it's simple, it's great for beginners. All you need is one sheet of paper. Traditional origami paper will do, 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters, but just about anything really. If it's coloured on the same on both sides, well, so much the better. If it's not, don't worry. If it's white on one side, all the back side's going to be hidden, so it's not really a problem. So grab yourself a piece of paper, let's get going. Okay, so to fold this origami heart, you need a piece of square paper. An ordinary origami paper will do, as I say. This one is 15 centimeters by 15 centimeters. Ideally something that's coloured the same on both sides. This one isn't. I'm using one that's white on both sides just so that you can tell front from back. But it really doesn't make a lot of difference at all, to be honest, because the back side's going to be completely concealed anyway. It's just to kind of hide any inaccuracies in the folding, make you get a nice professional looking result. So if you're ready, let's start with the white side of the paper up, or the back side if you've got a piece of paper that's coloured the same on both sides, and we're going to fold in half from side to side. So that's this edge, fold all the way over to meet this edge. Okay, so as usual on these things, then the more accurately you fold, the better your final model will be. And then unfold again. This time we're going to fold the top edge down to meet the bottom edge. So that's a fold from this edge, folds all the way over to lie along this edge. Like that. And let's unfold that again. This time we're going to fold the bottom edge to the center line. So that's a crease which is going to allow this edge here to lie all the way along this edge here. So up it comes. The easiest way of doing that is to hold this edge up slightly and just tuck this paper up to it, making sure that you get the corners lined up, obviously. But then that should give you a nice accurate crease. Okay, so let's turn the paper over. And now we're going to fold this edge here to lie along the center line, and this edge here to lie along the center line. So that's this edge folds over to lie along this line here. Starting obviously at this point. Like that. And we do the same with this edge. Fold up here to meet it. Now if you do it accurately, this point here should meet there. So try and get that as nice and accurate as you can. So adjust it if you need to. Like that. That's going to give you a nice good sharp point here at the base of your heart. Like that. Let's turn the paper over again. And we're going to do something similar. We're going to fold the top edge down. So that's this half of the top edge is going to lie along the center line. And this half of the top edge is also going to lie along the center line. Now when you do, you'll find you've got a couple of extra reference points here, because you should find that the middle crease here at the point where it ends is then lining up nicely with the middle crease that runs all the way up the paper. And you're going to find that at this point here will come all the way down there to meet it. So that's this edge folds over to lie along this center line. And there you are, you can see all the points are meeting up together. Try and get that nice and make sure you've got good tight layers where you've got this triangle on the edge. And the same again on this side. So that's this top edge, fold over to lie along this edge here. Now you can see I've got a slight gap at the top here. Don't worry, that's actually not that much of a problem because that's going to be hidden in a minute anyway. So don't panic if that's the case. You want to be more worried about kind of whether this is a good quality point and making sure you've got these edges here nice and tight. So let's make sure that's the case. There you go. Now comes the only hard step in the entire model. We're going to bring this point down to meet this point, but this layer here is not going to fold, and this layer here is not going to fold. So we're only folding the colored area. Okay, so this white triangle stays exactly where it is, and this white triangle stays exactly where it is. You'll also see that there's layers of paper underneath there. Those aren't moving either. So it's just a case of if you just put your finger in there slightly and open that up, and put your finger in this one and open that up. Now the only reason for doing that is to allow this point to move more freely. But this point is going to come all the way down to this point here. And we're going to put a crease in under there, but not on the white layer and not on that white layer. So let's bring that down. You can see that only the colored paper is moving and only that top layer. So we'll bring that down to the bottom like that. Make it nice and really precisely aligned down here if you can. And then we're going to squash that down there and squash it all the way in there and push that back down again. And again, all the way in there and squash that back down again. Then just kind of reinforce the creases. Remake the creases again. Just like that. Okay, we're actually nearly there. So now we're going to take this triangle and fold it over along this edge here. So that's this point, moves over to about here, folding down along this edge. Now you can see I've got a little bit of a gap there. That's fine, it doesn't matter. This is all behind the model, so I'm not actually that fussed. If you folded it perfectly accurately, of course that won't happen, but if it does, don't worry. And the same over here as well. So this triangle is going to fold over here. So that's this point here, folds over here, with a crease that goes down along this edge. Again, don't worry if you end up with this discrepancy of layers here. It's not a problem. All you're trying to do is just hide this triangle on the back side, really. So there's no great difficulty to any of this. So you are going to want some good firm creases. So use your nails, press it down. Now we're going to fold this edge here, this kind of point here. So that point here folds down here. This edge is going to lie along this line. So we're going to create a diagonal fold up there. This point fold down to here. So I can just squash that down now. Like that. This point here goes down to here. So this edge will lie along this edge and the crease line will go up there. Again, you can see if I was really worried about folding accuracy at this point, then I'd make sure that this little gap here wasn't the case, but it really isn't that much of a problem. This is just the back side of the model, and all we're doing is just basically hiding these layers behind the actual front. I am going to tidy it up actually, just because otherwise it's going to bug me slightly, but there we go. And now we do the same with this corner. So we're going to fold this corner here down to this point here, and put a crease line in that runs down there. So that's this corner here, folds over to this point here. That's all the layers. You've got several layers to play with there. Like that. And the same on this point here. So that's a crease line that's going to go in there. And this point will fold down to this point. Just like that. Okay, if you need to, kind of just squash those layers down. Right, 2 more folds to go. This point here, fold over to this point here. So that's a crease line that's going to run along here. This point here is going to fold over to this point here. Like that. And I think you can pretty much guess what the next fold is going to be. It's exactly the same on this side. So this point here folds over to this point here. It creates a creased line that runs along there. Try and make sure that your 2 edges are level. Okay, and this is probably a good point to just like give it one last check and make sure that all the crease lines are level, that these are straight, that all your edges around here are all nice and symmetrical. And if you're happy with that, turn it over. One completed origami heart. So there you have it, your very own traditional origami heart. I hope you enjoyed making that and you were able to follow along. If you did get stuck, leave a comment below. I'll do my best to help. This would be a really good time to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so hit that button and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you find out when I next upload a video. It really does help and the algorithm needs some love too. You can find more information on my origami at origamiexpressions.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.